viral etiology in case of the corneal edema. So, is my slides visible? Am I slide? Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, your slides are visible.
Okay. So, I will start this presentation with a curious case of a 70-year-old male. He had a history of diabetes mellitus for 35 years and which was reasonably controlled with oral medication. Left eye, uncomplicated phacoemulsification was done. And first post-op day, uncorrected visual acuity was 6/9 with clear cornea. But after 2 days, the patient called to report severe dimness in vision after waking up. So we called him the next day, that is the fourth post-op day. The vision recorded 6/36 with severe corneal edema with no epithelial lesion. So as we all do, anterior segment OCT in all cases of the post-cataract surgery edema, we did it and was dreaded to have a Descemet membrane detachment, but it was not that. It showed severe undulation of the membrane, obviously, and there was increased corneal thickness, but pupil was normal, ultrasonography was normal, and there was no reaction in the AC. So as we do routinely, we just increase the topical steroid. But the chronicle continued. After 2 days, the patient called to report much more dimness of vision with pain. So in the OPD next day, the vision recorded finger counting close to face and with development of this kind of an epithelial defect. We could not take a slit lamp picture because the patient was so much in pain and it looked like a geographical epithelial defect. So topical steroid was promptly reduced to bare minimum and oral acyclovir 400 mg 5 times daily started with 5 times topical application of acyclovir ointment. The ultimate outcome was after 2 weeks, his vision improved to 6/24 with no epithelial lesion and significant decrease in corneal edema. And at last, after 6 weeks, the patient became comfortable with uncorrected visual acuity of 6/9 and compact cornea. So the journey from agony to delight in 6 weeks, we can see how the outcome was. And the differential diagnosis was obviously Descemet membrane detachment, toxic anterior segment syndrome, and the diagnosis of exclusion, viral endothelitis. So the confounding factors or the diagnostic clues were first post-op day, clear cornea and good vision, not favoring very much DMD or TAS. And the case was worsening with topical steroid. So finding the balance between optimal dose of topical steroid and antivirals in immediate post-op to prevent worsening of viral keratitis in one hand and avoiding AC reaction in the other was really challenging. Herpetic endothelitis, this diagnosis was an entirely clinical one based on corneal features and the response to treatment. So there are few reports of new onset herpetic keratitis after cataract surgery. Like our patient had no previous similar history, though the incidence of post-cataract surgery viral endothelitis is 0.28, so very less. Key risk factors being age and diabetes. The time interval between surgery and first recording of endothelitis is 5 to 45 days. Most are within 30 days. So these patients with DM, they have significantly higher incidence of viral endothelitis because of their abnormal cell-mediated immunity or weak blood aqueous barrier, which helps in moving virus-infected cells more easily into corneal cells. Steroids help to reduce the inflammation following cataract surgery, so we use them. But the topical steroid used during HSV keratitis cause immunosuppression. So it becomes easier for the HSV transfer through the corneal cell layers and increase the cell susceptibility to HSV infection. PCR. It is a useful tool, but it is more likely to identify HSV in patients that present with typical lesions or those who have not used antiviral medication. The assay is less responsive. In 55% cases, it is negative only in patients with atypical lesion or in those who previously used or currently use the antiviral one. So the similar endothelitis, it may happen with cytomegalovirus also after cataract surgery. Almost the same clinical signs, only the diffuse edema is rare. There are some specific coin-shaped APs, high intraocular pressure, and this is also a corticosteroid recalcitrant inflammation. So acyclovir treatment also is less efficient, and topical ganciclovir 0.15% gel is effective with good corneal penetration and therapeutic levels in aqueous. So the take-home message being two factors that may play a role in HSK following cataract surgery are the trauma to the subepithelial trigeminal nerve plexus by the corneal incision location and intensive treatment with topical steroids during the postoperative period. Anti-glaucoma medications like beta blocker or latanoprost also plays a role in occurrence of viral endothelitis. So surgeons should be alert of this possibility of herpetic keratitis, even in patient who never presented with any significant past clinical history of the same clinical feature. Thank you. Thanks for the